I'm Jennifer Johnson and I raise sheep for their wool.
Welcome to Whispering Pines Shetland Sheep Farm in western New York State, home to our lovely flock of soft Shetland sheep. We breed and raise our sheep to produce soft, crimpy wool for hand spinners to enjoy. Thank you for liking this video and for subscribing to our channel. I'm still in the midst of rooing. We're almost at the end of May, so I'm getting towards the end, and I have a lovely ewe today that I wanted to share the rooing session with. Her name is Tiramisu, and I already have rooed one half of her, so she has the other half as well as her neck and her bridge, and we're going to work on that today. And the first thing we got to do is we got to catch her. Come on, ladies. Come on. So I'm looking for my Tiramisu. The minute I see her, I'm going to shut the door. It gets really dusty when they come running in like that. Normally I'll wear a mask, but... And there she is. This little one with the black face and the white... black eyes and the white face. Right here. So I want to cut her, but I want to cut her out in this side because that's the side where I'm going to be lifting her onto the grooming stand in order to work on her brewer. So she's standing there very nicely. And when I say cut, what I mean is everyone I'm not going to work with, I want them gone and out of the way. Now, where did she go? Where are you, Missy? You're fine. You're fine. All right. Now I just take her by the coat, usually. Actually, with this one, because she is a littler one, I'm just going to pick her up. So she is 1 year old. She just turned 1. Everybody always wants to try and get in, but it's just you today. You in the salon. Right there. So I got her head in the stand, and I'm going to fasten her to the stand, keep her nice and safe. It looks like she's being choked. My hand is 100% in between her and the stand. She doesn't have anything pushing on her neck. Okay, so this little girl is out of a white ewe and a gray ram. She's out of Earl Grey and Musetta. She was a kind of a surprise. I was expecting a white ewe. And like I said, I've already rooed one half of her. So I rooed everybody, everybody that I'm going to roo, which is roughly 30 ewes. One half of them so I could get a feel for their temperament, how they do in the stand. And she did really well. So we're going to use her for my video here today to show how lovely it is to roo a ewe. And one thing I want to do is show you close up the reason why we coat the fleeces. You can see here on her neck is not covered by the coat. And you can see how absolutely filthy dirty her neck wool is. All the bits of hay in there, and that makes it really difficult for hand spinners to clean the fleeces. And she's a smaller ewe, so when they're eating, a lot of times the smaller ones have even more, they call this VM, or vegetative matter, which is bits of hay, bits of poo, just bits of the field stuck in the wool, making it difficult to process. You have the same thing with her bridge wool, where you can see you got these big tangles. It's just a big gnarled mess. Now let's take a look at the wool under the coat. And these sheep coats are designed just for keeping the wool clean for my hand spinners to make it easier for them to process and spin the wool. So this is the wool that's been under the coat since last summer. And you can see absolutely perfect. Absolutely no VM, no vegetative material, no hay, no poop. It's dirty because her body produces lanolin, which is a greasy substance that will attract any manure or dust that could possibly get up under the coat. So you still have to wash these fleeces, but it's just super easy to process these. It doesn't hurt her. This coat is nice and loose. These leg straps, she's got plenty. There's plenty of running my thumb in between the strap and her leg. Very fine. She's comfortable. Doesn't mind it at all. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to cover this part back up because when I roo her the second phase, there's a couple things I like to do. And number one is just do a quick manicure. Quick check on the feet. So ideally what you want is you want to have the nail, she's got two sides here to her one half of her hoof, close to the pad. This part here is the pad. And you can see on her, a sweet thing, it's white and black because she's white and black. I love that. All right, so I'm going to trim this. Super easy. 1, 2, 3. You don't have to get it incredibly close to the pad, but just you want to make it so it's a little more comfortable for her to walk. Okay, so now first thing I'm going to do is just start ripping out the belly wool. And it just comes off in big, enormous clumps. This belly wool is extremely dirty, full of VM. There's barely any wool that's usable here, so I'm going to just put that in my fertilizer box. So this year I'm going to be making fertilizer pellets with the really dirty wool. I'm just going to go to it here. You're not right. I got you. People ask me, do sheep like getting rude? Sheep like everything to be the same every single day. So obviously they don't like getting rude. They would rather be with their family and their friends. So the question I ask you is, do you like sitting and getting your hair cut? Some people do. I don't. I find it really boring and irritating. All right, her belly's nice and clean. Okay, now I'm going to take a little bit off of the behind, which is called the britch. And you can see this is just coming off super easy. So what happens with these sheep that I can roo like this, in the spring, there's a hormonal thing that happens that causes them to have a natural break in the wool, so that if they were living in the wild, all that wool would just fall off. Sheep need to have their wool harvested at least once a year for health, good health. They can overheat if they don't get their wool removed. And insects, pests can get caught up in the wool and cause issues. This is an unacceptable, this is called a tag. It's just poop caked on there super, super hard. That's going to go in the fertilizer. There's some pieces of wool here that I'm going to put in my comb top where I'm going to have the mill process it, and this is probably going to go into that pile. So right now I'm just getting all the wool that's not under the coat that won't be going to the hand spinners in my auction that I'm going to hold to the last. Actually, I might do it now and then do the neck last. All right, let's see here. All right, so now I'm just going to, now one of the things about hand spinners is they like their whole fleece to be in one piece. So that's the work here that I'm going to be doing, is striving to make sure that the whole fleece comes off in one big blanket. So I actually start up here on the top. It's so cool the way you can see her pattern once the wool is taken off. I try to go as fast as I can, but keep that quality intact, because this is stressful for her, regardless of how sweet and lovely she's behaving. And we want to minimize her time up in the stand. Isn't that beautiful? So that's all been tugged off, and it's all in one piece, much just like the hand spinners prefer. Hand spinners that are buying raw fleeces are my priority. I am wearing my Rooing uniform right now. These are my Rooing boots. They're comfortable. I can stand in them for an hour if I have to. My muck boots in the barn are not that comfortable. I'm wearing my Carhartt pants, and this sweatshirt I normally wear when it's cooler outside. You can see it's just loaded with lanolin and poo from the sheep. I don't wash it until I'm done. If it's hot out, I'll wear a very tight-fitting t-shirt because I really don't like anything loose interfering with making sure the wool is all in one piece. So this fleece will certainly be going in the auction. It's gorgeous. And I do know I've had a couple people comment that they are interested in a multicolor fleece. And this is pretty much that. I do have my clippers here. Sometimes I'll have a ewe where maybe like a portion of her body doesn't have a good break and it's not coming off, and I'll just use the clippers to sort of supplement. But Tiramisu's fleece roos pretty much effortlessly. Another thing, if you want to roo your sheep, another tip or consideration, when I'm rooing, I try to shift the spot on her body where I do it, because I'm imagining I don't really want someone going like this on me repeatedly. Even if it doesn't hurt, it's still annoying. So I'm trying to consider that when I'm rooing, and I shift as often and as much as I can. I know, you're doing so good. So I'm probably going to have 5 ewes done at the Rooing Clinic. That's this coming Sunday. So that's going to help me get quite a lot of wool harvesting done. So my hope is probably by early June I'm going to start skirting. And I do have the goal of producing skirting videos this year of every ewe. So I'll be doing that. And then once skirting is done, I'll have the fleeces listed on the auction. My goal is going to be after the 4th of July to have the data up there from the fleece auction for you guys to look at if you're interested in sourcing a fleece from one of our sheep. All right, we're getting down to the final stretch here. I'm getting closer. I can feel the bits of hay on the pieces of wool that are closer to the edge of her coat on the underside. But you can see here, oops, are you stepping on it? Are you stepping on it? That's okay. So what I do normally when it gets that long, I'll take that rail there, leave the 2 center rails loose, and then just sort of cascade the fleece over that, because that prevents her from stepping on it when I get to this part of it, get closer to the bottom. You feel good. That's the other thing I love about rooing, is you can really just, you touch every single part of her body. You get a feel for, I've found cysts on ewes from doing this. You can get a sense just for her condition, and she looks really good. She got fed hay this morning at 10 a.m. with the rest of the flock. And then just eating off the very meager paddock they're on right now until the grass grows in on the pastures. And she'll be getting fed tonight at 7, which is in about an hour. So, I mean, she's not caved in. You're doing really good, which is great, because I'm not going to, she's my favorite lamb. Don't tell the other ones, but yeah, from this year, I just love her. I love her temperament. I love this fleece. I love the fact that she's a gray catnugget coming out of a white ewe, normally because white is so dominant. I really was expecting a white, but she came out in this beautiful marbly gray and cream. And I just think she's beautiful, and I like her size. She's not super tiny. I just think you're the full package. And this is Tiramisu. So this is why I take my watch off. I take off, actually she's not as dirty as some of them. You know, I don't wear my good clothes out here. This is lanolin, pure and simple. It's a waxy, greasy, dirt attracting material. All right, Missy, we're gonna take your fleece now. I'm gonna go on this side. And we're just gonna pull it. Feels like marshmallows. And there it is. Oh my gosh. Like I said, all in one piece. Beautiful, beautiful. I do have micron data on this fleece, and I will share it in this video. And beautiful color. I mean, you could take this and you could spin it in a gradient where you could isolate the lighter colors from the darker. Let me flip it over so you can see it from the back. So you could take and isolate and sort the white from the light gray, from the dark gray, and make a beautiful ombre, or you could blend it all together and just get this beautiful sea of beautiful gray shading. All right, we'll get you out of there. So I find this really exciting. And this is just one half. I mean, I've got the other half already rued, waiting to get coupled. And there's that. And then I'm just going to set that up here for now. We're going to finish her neck, which is not going to take that long. So what I'll do is I'll put my hand here so that if her head jerks, she doesn't hit her jaw on the stand. I want to get it done. It's really mostly about getting her out of this stand. That's my priority. I want to get a beautiful fleece for my hand spinners, but I want her to be happy and comfortable. Put that in here. So when I get to this point, a lot of times I'll take the coat off, just put it right over the headpiece here. And the reason I like to do that is sometimes with nervous ewes, they will go down on their knees and then stand back up. And by having all these coats here, it kind of pads it, because it's kind of rough, this metal material. And I want to make it as safe and comfortable for her as I can. So I don't know if you can see it if the camera picks it up, but you can see here's the gray patch of wool up here and the creamy patch down here. Just beautiful. They are so beautiful. And her being in this grooming stand is not a bad thing. It's good for them to get used to this. It's the safest way for you to manage your sheep, to tend to them, to do their feet, to give them medications. She's immobilized, she's safe. She's mostly distressed because she's not with the balance of her flock. You're my beauty. So there she is. Yeah, I mean, that's the rooing process. I think that probably took about 30 minutes, so that was a pretty good session. She, like I said, is super well behaved. If we were breeding, I would be breeding her for sure. Thank you for stopping by to watch this video, and thank you for staying right to the end. I really appreciate it. It helps the farm. If you like it, if you subscribe to the channel, and also, like I said, watching the videos right to the end, I get credit for watch time, so that really helps the farm a lot. Thank you so much. I hope you can come back soon. There you go. Nice thing. Oh, nice. Oh. And all I gotta do is open the door for her, and she wants to come to her family.